Hello guys, welcome to today's video. I want to thank all of you for 30 subscribers. This means a lot to me, and I'm currently working on a second channel that is not going to be related to politics. Today I'm going to talk about the 2024 Democratic nominee. First off, this could change a lot depending on the results of this upcoming election, especially with the death of one of the most famous Supreme Court justices. This will bring up turnout for the Democrats. But if Donald Trump wins, I wouldn't be surprised if we get more of a progressive candidate come 2024, since it would be a big Democratic wave year. There is also the chance that Joe Biden might want to go for the full 8 years. I believe he shouldn't, due to many reasons, most of the fact that he would be around 85, 86 by then, and of course it's by far one of the most stressful jobs that anyone can have, and especially at that age he shouldn't have to deal with that much stress. He should only run for one term and let Kamala Harris run in 2024. If everything goes well with them, then in this scenario, we could see a 12-year Democratic term between both of them. That would go up all the way to 2032. But it also depends on the Republican Party and how they stand after the Trump administration. If they crumble, we could easily see a new party come up, or even led by moderate like Romney, or even a rise in the Libertarian Party. And if conservatives split the vote between two parties, it would leave the Democrats to easily win the White House almost consistently, meaning they could put even a progressive in the White House until the right go behind only one party. So, as you can see from this poll a couple months ago, the first respondents were Democratic respondents. And back then, Andrew Cuomo was pretty popular. Still, I do believe his numbers will go down with time. At the moment, he's around I would say 20, probably below Kamala Harris right now. Graphics wise, he's pretty strong among almost all respondents and the general population. In the Northeast region, he's pretty popular, of course. He might be popular there, but he will have more trouble with more conservative or flip state regions, since there's a lot of hate on him due to the pandemic, and many will either agree or disagree with his response, but the pandemic will likely pull him down the polls. Next up is Kamala Harris, the most logical candidate for the presidency. Especially if she is elected with Joe, her numbers will go up and above Andrew Cuomo's numbers easily. In this, she's second, right, among Democratic, and fourth among the general population, which is why I believe she will need a good VP on her ticket if she decides to run in 2024, and she should. And as you can see, the best demographic for her is the African American population with 28%. Yep, 28%. With more recognition and on her numbers will easily go up among all the population, and probably will be number one on this list. Third on the list is one of my favorites, Pete Buttigieg. Out of all these people, especially if Kamala runs in 2024, he should be the VP, or the vice president candidate, due to many reasons. Among everyone, he's tied with, Andrew Yang for popularity. but his numbers will go up with time until the next election. And as you can see, none of his numbers are green, but they aren't red either. He's pretty strong among everyone. And also, due to his personal life, LGBTQ plus and young voter turnout will be more generous to him. Younger generation will always look up to vote for someone they can relate to. In my opinion, he should be the vice president for Camilla or whoever wins the presidential nomination, since he is a good candidate that will help a lot with turnout too. There are other famous names like, as I said, Yang and Alexander AOC. They are also up there, but they aren't the favorites. Yang is pretty strong, surprisingly with moderates too. But for AOC, she is not as strong with moderate voters. Yang is able to pull independent voters, which is by far the biggest problem she would face in 2024. The problem in politics is that if you can't appeal to the moderates, then you can't win an election unless you have a solid hold over your party or the other party is split right in the middle between two people. I do believe that if she does in fact go for the nomination in 2024, she will get a lot of Bernie supporters, but she will have a hard time gaining new voters. And if Bernie Sanders was not able to win back in 2016 and 2020, then she will have an even more challenging time than him. And basically, there are few scenarios in which I could see her win the nomination, and even less her winning the White House. There are other candidates in here like Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, or Beto O'Rourke, but I don't see them having a chance as being the front runners of the ticket. At best, maybe they can be the vice presidential nominee, but even then, there's so many more people that would be better vice presidential candidates than them, which are more logical and helpful to whoever's picking the vice president nomination. Overall, the plan should be for Biden to run only for one term and give Kamala Harris the baton in 2024. But since the passing of the Supreme Court justice, things are even more on the balance in this 2020 election. And there hasn't been an election this important in decades, and it's arguably more important than Al Gore versus Bush in 2000. I can't really think of any other presidential race that had so much at stake. You could argue LBJ maybe, since he did a lot for African Americans and the civil rights movement. But even then, I can't. There's so much at stake in this one. Thank you. And this was my 2024 Democratic nominee prediction. Pre-2020 election. Many things could change by then, since it's 4 years from now. Still, though, I would say that things are looking good for the Democrats. It's looking pretty good for them, since it seems like they will keep the House, of course, gain the Senate and the presidency. But if the Republicans decide to fill up the Supreme Court justice seat, then there's going to be a lot of problems, and it's even going to be more things at stake. At the best case scenario, the Democrats will be able to add more seats to the Supreme Court justice, and that would be the final blow to the Republican Party. But this is a pretty sad time to be American, honestly, because whoever wins, the other side will probably protest, riot, or even worse things. sadly. I want to thank all of the people that have subscribed to me and enjoy my videos. And I hope you comment on any suggestions and subscribe to me. See ya.